Don in London, hello. September 29th, 2009. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My addictive substance, alcohol, my behaviour, if not drinking, working, if not working in a relationship, if not drinking, working in a relationship, I could be anywhere, trying to be the best I could. I guess striving for perfection in the gym, you name it, at anything, simply because I felt I ought always to be my best. And these days I realise that it's in the journey that we live and learn life. And what have I learned over the last few years? Well, just simply what it's like to be sober one day at a time. And the gift of sobriety is being able to be me and find out who I am on a daily basis. I thought I knew who I was. As long as I fitted in, I could quell the fears, quell the ego, do something about the brave face, keep it in place, stiff upper lip. And these days I don't have to do any of those things, hopefully on a daily basis. And what helps me keep in recovery? And I've only got one day to think about it, really, this one day. But on the way, what helped me enormously was family, who kept me alive, even though some of the time I don't know that I did want to be alive. Community, society, professionals along the way just helped me somehow keep going when everything seemed to fail. And I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop this drinking malarkey. And I couldn't stop feeling fearful. And I couldn't stop putting on a brave face, even though that crumbled. And I guess I couldn't stop utilising my ego. Although that seemed to crumble in the end as well, and I had a complete breakdown. And then drank some more, and some more, and some more. So the malady of addiction, it takes us to places I guess, would prefer never to go. But we get there, to a place of complete and utter hopelessness. These days, what helps me most, and I know I need to keep sober on a daily basis so the rest of life can work, so sober comes first. A fellowship, Alcoholics Anonymous, and I don't speak for it, never can, never will. It's full of unique, authentic people who can speak for themselves where they choose, and I choose to share my experience, strength and hope about how fellowship has helped me find my path. And apologies, my video is late today. I've been out helping another person with not unrelated matters, but certainly it was the right thing to do. So, fellowship. I went to a fellowship meeting last night at a place called the Servite Church, which is a double header, as it's called, where there are two chairs, one of whom was me, and another person equally challenged on the door, would you mind doing the chair? And we both said yes, because it's all part of service, and that is, being a part of a fellowship means unity, service and recovery go hand in hand with 12 steps of action to keep ourselves safe. And that's about being open, honest and willing to change our attitude and behaviour so we may function again as humans and human beings and live in the day. So AA helps me on a daily basis keep me sober, and there is a statement of intent shared at the beginning of every meeting. It's called the AA Preamble, and I share it here because it slows me down into the moment of now, which is the most important moment where most of life is going on. And it goes like this. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. Does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. So, the two important sentences there for me, although all of them are important. Only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking, and our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. So that's why I do these videos, share a bit of experience, strength and hope as I can, and hopefully it helps me just to really rededicate myself on a daily basis to knowing what is good for me. And the 12-step program of action to change my attitude and behaviour on a daily basis, the 12 steps of AA, is a program or a process which works every single day. So every step has a purpose in every day, and it reminds me of where I am, what I can do and what I can't do, and gaining the wisdom to know the difference just as life goes along. And that was really what my chair was about last night. It was about the 12 steps. It was a newcomers meeting. People from still being under the influence last night through to people being 35 years sober. And you know what? We all live in the same day. We're all in the same place at the same time. And we gain as much wisdom from the person who is brand new or brand new back and unable to stop drinking through to the person who has 35 years and has been through shit and shinola, as they say, in order to find sobriety and then be 35 years sober, and a very ancient individual who I love dearly and helped me along the way. And that's what we learn. We learn how to love in fellowship, which means it's not based on anything that we can get from another person. It's just unconditional love for people who are trying to get well. And that is an extraordinary gift, because it's not what's in it for me, it's what I can give away to keep it, and that's to keep my sobriety, and then the rest follows. And I use the readings from As Bill Sees It and the daily reflections here, and in As Bill Sees It today, it's very appropriate actually. Happy when we're free. And it says here, for most normal folks, drinking means release from care, boredom and worry. It means joyous intimacy with friends and a feeling that life is good. But not so with us in those last days of heavy drinking. The old pleasures were gone. There was an insistent yearning to enjoy life as we once did, and a heartbreaking delusion that some new miracle of control would enable us to do it. There was always one more attempt and one more failure, and an abject feeling that I just didn't want to wake up for me. We are sure God would like to see us happy, joyous and free. Hence we cannot subscribe to the belief that this life necessarily has to be a vale of tears, though it once was just that for many of us. But it became clear that most of the time we had made our own misery. And indeed, I did make my own misery, because I didn't know how to make anything else. And as I said last night, ignorance is bliss. If I'd known the first drink did the damage all those years ago when it changed my feelings and my outlook, would I have continued? And the answer, having taken the first drink, the purposeful forgetting about the consequences later in life, and dependency and then addiction, I couldn't see it happening. And it's only when we get to a place of understanding that we are absolutely stuck with an addiction that denial can keep us out there even longer, trying for that one last attempt to find control and conviviality and joy again. And in daily reflections for today, exactly alike, and this is very pertinent, frequent contact with newcomers and with each other is the bright spot of our lives. So although I do these videos, I don't see them as a replacement for meetings in any shape or form. We still need to go to meetings, because it's face-to-face contact with another alcoholic which keeps us sober in the end. These may be a stopgap, or whatever they are. They may be helpful to an extent. A man came to the meeting drunk, interrupted the speakers, stood up and took his shirt off, staggered loudly back and forth for coffee, demanded to talk, and eventually called the group secretary an unquotable name and walked out. I was glad he was there. Once again I saw what I had been like, but I also saw what I still am, and what I still could be. I don't have to be drunk to want to be the exception and the centre of attention. I have often felt abused and responded abusively when I was simply being treated as a garden variety human being. The more the man tried to insist he was different, the more I realised he and I were exactly alike, and it only takes a drink to put me back in that place. So the gift for me today is just to be sober, just to be right-sized, no bigger, no smaller than anybody else, and the serenity to prayer, to good conscience, or to God, as you understand. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I am, and the wisdom to know the difference is always for me, just for today.